Well, here we go. This is the setup for the bracket rounds, or rather the knockout rounds, of F.A.N. Idol 2020-2021. Also known as the longest frickin' game ever. I once again apologize for that. Anywho, so what we're going to do, provided this stupid thing actually works, and I was testing to see if it would work, and I have a feeling it may not work. It isn't going to work. Great. Well, hold on. See if I can get anything to work here. Oh, there we go. That's much better. Anywho. So, this is why I never use OBS. Anyway. So, we are into the final 8. And at the final 8, I decided that all the scores that you've gotten up to this point are now completely and utterly worthless. Yep. So, what is happening now is I've done a bit of randomization. First off, starting with random.org, I did a list, and unfortunately, thanks to trying to test the stupid OBS out, it didn't quite stay the way I wanted it to, but I'm going with the list I initially have. And that means that our rounds are going to work like this. I have randomized the 8 of you that are left, and you'll now be in head-to-head matchups. You'll submit songs to the judges, and whoever does the best, obviously, will advance. You will send one song from each category with one little exception, which I'll mention once I start talking about the rounds, as you can see on this picker wheel. Now, the brackets will, well, they're not really brackets. This is just a loose elimination thing. But the matchups will be Jay versus Clash, Brad versus Rad G, Future Raven versus Roxy, and Swab versus Joker. That's how it's going to set up. Now comes the fun part. I've come up with 8 categories. And it's going to work like this. I'll explain them right now. The end as the beginning is the end. In that one, you will pick either the first track from the final studio album of an artist or a band, or the last track from their first. And by studio album, I specifically mean an LP, a full-length album. No EPs or demos or live recordings, or best-ofs. This has to be from a standard studio album. So, for example, for Typo Negative, you would pick either the last track from Slow, Deep, and Hard, or the first track from Dead Again. Typo Negative was already used, but I'm using that as an example. Step Up. For Step Up, you would pick a song sung by a band member that is not the main vocalist. That's pretty self-explanatory. For the Switch category, you will actually pick 2 songs that will be judged as the pair. Not individually, they will be judged as a pair. Those songs will come from a band or an artist that would illustrate a genre change. Let's just use Opeth as an example, as another previously used band this season. Opeth started out as a progressive death metal band, or in some instances more of a blackened progressive death metal band, and then moved on to more of a progressive metal, progressive rock, psych rock thing. So you would pick something from some of their earlier material and then go on something from their later material, which is a bit of a shift in their genre content. So that's basically the example. Type O Negative actually be another one, because you go with a more thrash-oriented material from their first couple albums and then go on to their more gothic doom material, starting with Bloody Kisses. But again, we're sticking just with the examples. I apologize for the ads on the bottom here. You just get rid of that, and that's much better. Anywho. And the winner is an interesting one. Hope you know your movies, because this is a category for songs that were nominated for Oscars for Best Original Song, but did not win. Wikipedia will be your friend here. For Time to Play the Game, you will pick a song done by Motorhead that was a Triple H theme. No, I'm just kidding. You will pick a song from a video game. It can be a song that was originally written for the video game. It can be a song that was used for the game. It's really vague enough that you could do whatever you want there. For the Use the Damn Toothpicks, you cretin! Is a song with at least 3 samples. The song has to have at least 3 samples in it. Like a F.A.N. Idol Virgin is another one that's a bit self-explanatory. We need a first time usage. If a band or artist has not yet been used ever in F.A.N. Idol history, they're eligible. Look at the list carefully of the previously used songs, because that also includes the artists, and you'll be able to rule out artists that way. And finally, the Where I Come From category is one that I know Tigers kind of wanted me to use. It's a song about home, a birthplace, or anything of that particular line. Doesn't necessarily have to be a positive song, but that's just how it's going to work. Now, to spin. What's going to happen is, I'll spin. There will be no repeats in a matchup. Now, some of you may get the same thing between matchups. For example, Jay and versus Clash may have Time to Play the Game, and Swap versus Joker may have Time to Play the Game. But you're not going to be picking from the same genre or from the same category twice. If it lands on the same category, I'll respin, and that will be that. So, time to spin and see what happens. We'll start with Jay versus Clash. Clash survived his scene-off, and Jay managed to lock his spot in. So best of luck to the two of you as you get the following 3 categories. That spins pretty fast. Alright, so the first one is the video game category, Time to Play the Game. The next one for you will be F.A.N. Idol Virgin, so first timers. And finally, oh, you get the double song one. You get the switch round. Remember again with the switch round, you pick 2 songs and they will be judged as the pair. They will not be judged separately. Keep that in mind. So once again, for Jay versus Clash, your categories will be Time to Play the Game, Like a F.A.N. Idol Virgin, and Switch. Now we move on to Brad versus Rad G. Both of you were able to avoid the scene-off this last time around. Both of you will get the following 3 categories. you will get Where I Come From, the hometown or location kind of category. The home location. Next, you'll get Step Up, which again, band member that isn't the vocalist. You're more than likely going to find this as a band thing, so I don't really recommend trying to look for solo artists on this. Just the nature of the category. And then finally, it barely avoided the switch category. You're going to be going to the movies for The Winner Isn't. Again, that's songs from films, and these songs were nominated for Best Original Song at the Oscars, but did not win. Technically, I could have used this idea for any category, but I wanted to stick with the Oscars because I don't think we get enough film music, and it kind of makes it slightly easier, at least in my opinion. So once again, for Brad versus Rad G, it will be Where I Come From, Step Up, and The Winner Isn't. Now on to Future Raven versus Roxy. Future Raven survived the scene-off again. Roxy is completely blown everyone out of the water, but again, we have done away with the scores. So it is anyone's game here. What 3 categories will they get? Oh, samples with just a damn toothpicks, you cretin! Remember, they need to have at least 3 samples in the song. At least 3. Your second category will be, as the wheel goes nuts again, well, you'll also be going to the movies. Once again, looking for ones that came up short in the Best Original Song category at the Oscars. Again, specifically the Oscars. And your last one will be... one category has not been used yet. Will it land on it this time? No, it won't. It's time to step up. Once again, as long as it's not sung by the main vocalist, you can pick the band. So once again, for Future Raven versus Roxy, the categories will be Use the Damn Toothpicks, you cretin! And The Winner Isn't, and Step Up. And finally, we move on to Suave versus Joker. Suave survived his scene-off, and Joker has been holding pretty strong as well, though Roxy has overtaken him. What categories will they have to deal with? Well, time to go sample hunting. With Use the Damn Toothpicks, you cretin! Once again, has to have at least 3 samples. Second category will be... it's all about location, location, location. It's Where I Come From. It's all about home locations. Not just general locations, home location, birthplace, etc. Remember, doesn't have to be a positive song. And finally, the last spin of the wheel. Will you have to pick a first track from a final album or a last track from a first? Yes, you will! The end is the beginning is the end. Yes, that is a Smashing Pumpkins reference. Once again, that one is the first track from a final studio album from a band or an artist, or the last track from their first album. Again, full-length studio albums only for this category. So once again, the categories for Swab versus Joker will be Use the Damn Toothpicks, You Cretin, Where I Come From, and The End is the Beginning is the End. Should be very interesting to see what the 8 of you come up with. I know the judges will be eagerly anticipating what you send in as well. Gonna be fun. Fun, fun, fun. The deadline to get the song sent in, because, of course, we do have the deadline, even if I don't exactly hold up that much. The deadline for any songs to be sent in will be at the end of BattleBots on Thursday night, which means it would end at 10 Eastern, 9 Central. Once again, the deadline Thursday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central Time. And that will do it. Best of luck. Can't wait to see what you send in. And until next time.